The Harvard referencing system is a widely used method for acknowledging and citing sources in academic writing. It provides a consistent and standardized way of giving credit to the original authors and researchers whose work you've used to support your own arguments and ideas. In this training video, I'll walk you through the step-by-step process of using the Harvard referencing system to ensure that you cite your sources correctly. Step 1. Understanding the format. When using the Harvard referencing system, there are two steps to acknowledging the work of others in your own writing: citing and referencing. Citing, or providing a citation, involves indicating the words and concepts you've incorporated from someone else's work within the body of your own essay using an author date format. Referencing, on the other hand, entails listing all of the details of the sources you've used in a separate section at the end of your work. In-text citations include the author's last name and the year of publication, while the reference list provides more detailed information about the source. The way that you use citations in your work depends on whether you're using a direct word-for-word quote from another piece of work, or if you're putting someone else's ideas into your own words. Step 2. In-text citations. When using the Harvard referencing system, you need to include an in-text citation every time you quote, paraphrase, or summarize someone else's work. The basic structure of an in-text citation is as follows. If you're copying a statement word for word, you need to put quotation marks around the quote, followed by the author's last name, followed by a comma, and then the year the source was published. Add a comma after the year and use P for a single page and include the page number where the quote can be found, like this. We've got the quote in quotation marks, then we put the author's surname, the date the source was published, and the page number all in rounded brackets. If it's not a direct quote, but you are paraphrasing or summarizing their points in your own words, you only include the author and the year the source was published, like this. Make sure to place the in-text citation immediately after the information you've borrowed from the source, followed by a full stop. If there are two authors, list their last names separated by a comma, as they appear on the source material, not alphabetically. If there's no author that can be identified, use the title of the source or the organization responsible for the source. Step 3. The reference list. At the end of your work, you need to include a detailed reference list that provides all of the necessary information for your readers to locate the sources you've cited. Each separate source of information should always start with the same information as a citation in your essay, so the source material details can be found easily. The reference list should be arranged alphabetically by the author's last name. If there is no author, use the title of the source. Under the Harvard referencing system, the order you present the information for each of your sources has to be created in a particular way. If you got your information from a book, then you need to create your reference like this. The surname and initials of the author or editor. For two authors, use both names. For three or more, list the first author followed by et al., then the year of publication in round brackets, the title in italics, bold or underlined, then a full stop, the edition if it's not the first edition, the place of publication, and the publisher, the series and volume number where relevant. If you use information from an eBook in your work, then you need to use the following format: the surname and the initials of the author or editors, the year of publication in round brackets, the title in italics, bold or underlined, the phrase online in square brackets, and the words available from, followed by the URL of the ebook. Then you include the word accessed, followed by the date you accessed the information in square brackets. If you've included citations from print journals in your work, you should reference those in the following format: author or authors, published year in round brackets, the title of the article in single quotation marks, the title of the journal in italics, the volume number followed by the issue number in round brackets, and then the page numbers of the whole article, like this. If you use information from an online journal in your work, then you need to follow this structure: the author's surname and initials, the year of publication in round brackets, the title of the article, the title of the journal in italics, bold or underlined, followed by the word online in square brackets, the volume number or issue number, or month of publication if volume and issue are absent. Then the page numbers or article e-locator numbers if there are any. Then you need the words available from, followed by a colon, and include the library database name or URL if you access the journal online from somewhere other than a library database. And finally, the words accessed and the date you accessed the online article in square brackets. Remember to include all of the necessary information based on the type of source you're citing. If you're unsure about the format of a specific source, consult a reliable style guide or ask your instructor for clarification. Properly citing your sources is not only about avoiding plagiarism, but also about respecting the intellectual property rights of others. When you use someone else's work, make sure to give them credit by citing the original source. This helps to establish academic integrity and fosters a culture of honesty and fairness in your scholarly endeavours.